As Donald Trump enjoys yet another taxpayer subsidized weekend vacation of golf and attending UFC fights, he just got brutally TKO'd by another major poll as a direct consequence of his terrible economic mismanagement, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, it's a recurring story of the Trump administration, the shortest presidential polling honeymoon in American history. Donald Trump is unpopular, increasingly so, and it's all his fault. CBS YouGov just released their regular poll, and it's disastrous for Trump, and we're going to take a look at it. But this is the headline from CBS News. Trump tariff plans bring concern about prices, financial impact, but the GOP base sees long-term job gain. Amid a tumultuous week in the markets, the outlook on Trump's trade and tariff policy hinges not just on what Americans think will happen, but when. People split on whether they believe Trump has a clear plan, and most don't think the tariffs will be permanent, rather that he's using them to negotiate. More like his goals than his approach to the goals. For those who think he does have a plan, predominantly Republicans, obviously, it'll take months or longer to judge the impact. Republicans stand apart from the public overall in showing that patience, meaning most don't. But in the short term, a big majority of Americans think new tariffs are going to raise prices, and many think that's the case in the long term too. So, an inflation-weary public is bracing for that to hit their bottom line. A growing number thinks that Trump's policies are making them financially worse off, not better, and most think that tariffs will make the economy worse immediately too. In turn, Trump's ratings for handling inflation and the economy have become more negative, and this is a big part before we look at the poll itself. Either way, one lasting impression may be this. In the public mind, it is Donald Trump's economy now. A majority say his policies, not President Biden's, are responsible for it. This is very bad news for Donald Trump because a major deflection and distraction of the Trump administration, of Trump himself and of Trump surrogates is that, well, we're still dealing with Joe Biden's economy. Bullshit. And now the American people recognize it as bullshit too. No. This is your fault. You're the president now, and by Republican standards, anything bad that happens on a president's watch is that president's fault. You're president. Bad shit's going on. It's your fault. That's good, and Democrats should relentlessly pursue that. So let's take a look at the polls themselves, okay? So, CBS News poll, April 8th through 11th, 2025. Do you approve or disapprove the way Trump is handling his job as president? So this is the overall approval or disapproval rating. 47% say approve. 53% say disapprove. Again, this is yet another poll, one of many, showing that Donald Trump is objectively unpopular and underwater with the American people. Number 2, do you strongly approve or disapprove, or somewhat approve or disapprove? 28% say strongly approve. Oh, you might think that's good, more than a quarter, right? Except when you look at strongly disapprove, a decisive plurality. 43%, not just disapprove of Trump, but strongly disapprove, heavily outnumbering those who strongly approve. Again, disastrous for Trump. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Trump is handling the economy, inflation, immigration? Bad news all the way around, except maybe immigration because it's 50-50. The economy, which used to be Donald Trump's objectively strongest suit, even though it wasn't reflected on the merits, it was reflected in the polling. He enjoyed the Republican incumbent advantage because the Republicans have enjoyed a decades-long perception advantage on the economy, and he was a TV billionaire businessman, and now he's underwater on this. Look at this. 56% disapprove of Donald Trump's handling of the economy. 56%. Even on inflation, 60%. That's a decisive, overwhelming majority. And even on immigration, which is now his strongest area, it's a coin flip. Generally speaking, do you think things in America today are going very well, somewhat badly, very badly? Again, not good for Trump. Only 12% say very well. 36% say very badly. How would you rate the condition of the national economy today? Only 6% say very good. 6%. 29% say very bad. Do you think the economy is getting better, getting worse, or staying about the same? 28% say getting better, but 53%, a majority, not even a plurality, just 53%, a majority, say getting worse. Terrible for Trump. How would you rate your own personal financial and economic situation today? 8% say very good, 14% say very bad, 28% say fairly bad, 43%, a plurality, say fairly good. So this is somewhat better for Trump, but still not great overall. How would you rate the U.S. job market today? 8% say very good, 16% say very bad, 28% say very bad, 33% say fairly good. Again, this is mixed for Trump, but still not great when you consider the overall condition. He needs to be lapping these numbers. It looks like the best he's able to do is about half, breaking even. As you and your family plan for the next year, are you expecting the U.S. economy to be booming, growing but not booming, holding steady, slowing but not in a recession? In a recession. Again, pretty disastrous numbers for Trump, because 33%, a plurality, say in recession. And 20% say slowing but not in a recession. And there, just between those, the worst of the five options there, 53%. Terrible. Let's see. Earlier, you rated the national economy as good. Which of these reasons do you feel the U.S. economy is getting good? So 81% say Donald Trump for those who say the economy is good, which isn't many, okay? Earlier, you rated the national economy as bad. Which of these, if any, are the reasons you feel the U.S. economy is bad? 79% say Donald Trump. So a majority say the economy is bad, and 80% of the reason is Donald Trump, according to the respondents. Not good. This is a huge one right here. Number 12. Which is more responsible for the state of the U.S. economy today? President Biden's policies, Donald Trump's policies, both equally? Neither. 54%, a majority in and of itself, say Donald Trump's policy. So again, Trump owns this economy. In the eyes of the American people now, Democrats need to continue to hammer that home because Trump will continue to try to misdirect. Oh, Joe Biden, crooked Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, we inherited his disastrous economy, even though it wasn't disastrous. But now, the American people are drawing a connection between their current economic and financial hardship and Donald Trump. Keep it up, Democrats. Let's see. How would you rate the overall condition of the U.S. stock market today? 4% say very good, 24% say very bad, 32% say fairly bad. Again, that's what? 56 right there? Not good. Not good at all for Donald Trump. Let's see. In general, do you think free trade between the U.S. and other countries has been good for the U.S., bad for the U.S.? 47% say good for the U.S., bad for the U.S. is 31%. And listen, any economist will tell you that free trade has its pros and cons, right? Globalization is, I would argue, inevitable, but there's no question that American workers in various sectors have been undermined or hurt by free trade, by globalization, right? It's not a perfect overall economic paradigm by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I overall would say, for the most part, it's been better for America and for the world as a whole, and also inevitable. But there's no question that when Trump says, some people have been left behind, which, by the way, Trump's not alone there. Bernie Sanders and AOC and others have more credibly and more sincerely made that case as well. There's a lot of truth to that. But Trump's approach to try to address this bullshit, it's just not true. The way he's going about it is the most incomprehensibly stupid and self-destructive approach you could possibly have, which is why even though somebody like Bernie Sanders shares Donald Trump's stated concern, I don't think Trump actually has concern about U.S. workers, but even though they have a shared, even though he shares Trump's stated concern or diagnosis, he has been very staunchly opposed to how Trump has gone about this with a reckless global trade war. Again, you don't get credit for simply diagnosing the problem. It's almost like, oh, you have a cold. Oh, I agree, you have a cold. Yeah, okay. Well, I think the solution should be to amputate your arm. Wait, what? No, you don't get points for diagnosing correctly, observing that there's a problem, and then taking a solution which not only doesn't address the problem, but I would argue actively makes it worse, which is what Trump has done. Let's see. Do you think Donald Trump's policies, number 19, are making you financially better off, financially worse off, or about the same? 49%, nearly half, say financially worse off. Not good for Trump. Do you think Trump's policies are making the price you pay for food and groceries go up, go down, not change? 58%, a decisive majority, say go up. Do you think Trump's policies are making the stock market go up, go down, or not impacting either way? 62%. 62%. Again, a decisive majority say that Donald Trump's policies are making the stock market go down. Do you think Trump's policies are making the stock market or job market create jobs, lose jobs, not impacting either way? 47%, a plurality, say lose jobs. Do you favor or oppose the U.S. placing new tariffs on goods imported from other countries? 42% favor, 58% oppose. So again, disastrous news every which way for Donald Trump. Let's see. It's just one bad thing after. Oh, this one's interesting. God. Okay, so as we've discussed, Congress, the Article 1 branch, they're the ones with the power of the purse. They control the strings. They should have more authority constitutionally over tariffs by far than any president, Republican or Democrat. So here's where it's interesting. What do you think? What should Congress do now regarding tariffs? Do you think Congress should try to increase new U.S. tariffs, stop or limit new U.S. tariffs, not get involved with tariffs either way? 53%, a majority, say stop or limit tariffs. It's good and commensurate with the Constitution. But as the polls break it down later, Republicans don't want that at all. They want Congress, even though Congress is Republican-led, to stay the hell out of Trump's way. It's become a cult of personality. Truly terrifying. Let's see. Which of these do you trust or not trust to give you information about how tariffs and trade impact the U.S. economy? 29% say economists, 9% say business executives, CEOs, 10% say Wall Street finance leaders, 27% sadly say Donald Trump. The stock market's performance, 18%. Your personal experience, 43%, a plurality. Job and unemployment reports, 29%. Congressional Republicans, 10%. Congressional Democrats. So Democrats are slightly better trusted on this. Let's see. Keep going here. Yeah, because they're starting to ask questions about immigration as well and stock market as well. Yeah, and this is 83 pages. So going back to the article, which discusses it a bit, because they provide some additional commentary as well. Again, right here. So Trump's goals versus Trump's approach. 51% say that they like his goals, but 63% say they disapprove of his approach. And again, as somebody who wants Trump in terms of his terrible ideas to fail, like if Trump has a bad idea, I don't want him to be successful simply because he's the president. That's the patriotic thing to do. If Trump has a terrible idea, I do want him to fail in executing it. But the sad thing is, for Trump, as a student of politics, Trump had the benefit of the doubt from the American people. Insanely, indefensibly, the American people gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he's just stupidly squandering it. Like it's genuinely insane. Let's see. We went through a lot of this as well. Inflation. Oh, well, I don't think we covered inflation. Trump's handling of inflation. Yeah, this is where they point out how in previous polls, March 2nd, March 30th, now, right? Because they do these regular polls. 46% approved in March, and now it's down to 40. He's just rapidly declining in a month, losing 6 percentage points. Yeah, folks, this is good. I guess we'll do one last thing here, which is again showing his overall job rating in figures. In February, 53%, a majority, approved of Donald Trump's overall job performance, which I think was like a historic high for him. Now it's down to 47%, right? 2 months, he's just squandered all of the goodwill. I think Donald Trump failing for the most part is good for democracy because I think he's a thin-skinned, malignant narcissist and authoritarian with really stupid ideas, dangerous ideas. So him failing is good for the American people. But the way he's failing here, he's hurting the American people along the way. He's torpedoing his own popularity. He's undermining his party's ability to maintain control of Congress, all of which is good. But he's like not even a bull in a china shop, right? As the idiom is, he's more like a bull in like a nursing home, right? He's just like, he's hurting people as he's thrashing about incompetently, ruining his own reputation. And that's why, quite frankly, not only should he have stopped the tariff situation, he should have never unleashed this in the first place. And it's just stunning that he has disregarded so much advice from the people around him, or rather, the people who want him to succeed. He is listening to the people around him, no doubt, who are just like, yeah, do whatever you want, Mr. President. Well, we're seeing the fruits of Trump's labor. And again, it's bad for the American people. He's torpedoing whatever credibility he has left, and Democrats need to be ruthlessly pursuing this for maximum political advantage. It's what Republicans would do if the shoe were on the other foot. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.